The main event that apparently Uncle Dave thought the last 30 minutes, the last 30 minutes of the program was the midget kidnapping, the meth head from the trailer park cutting a promo about the one time every 3 months he gets to wrestle on television, and then this match. That was all the last 30 minutes. And apparently Uncle Dave thought that this was just, for whatever reason, good. I don't know. But it was Twinkle Toes and the Good Brothers, Luke Gallows and Carl Anderson, against Stone Cold Moxley, the balding plumber, and his partners, Pac and Felix. And this was the match that Moxley himself tried to explain and couldn't on his interview last week. Why is he teaming up with Pac and Felix, who are not related to him in any way? They have no interaction. They're heels. He's supposed to be a babyface. And Twinkle Toes is now back with the Bullet Club. And now they can kind of say Bullet Club because I guess they think that New Japan won't sue them all the way over here, whatever the fuck. And
because they now have a deal with New Japan, clearly.
Well, okay. Well, there you go. New Japan. Well, like I said, they think New Japan won't sue them. But also, I'm getting to this in a minute. What a rib now. If you're tag team partners with Moxley, does that mean that you can't actually dress in the building either? That you have to get dressed out in your car in the parking lot and walk all the way in these long distances in this giant arena just because you're teamed up with Moxley? You don't get to dress where there's heat and what the fuck is that? And they just stood there and waited on him to come and he said, okay, let's go. And they walked from the parking lot down the breezeway into the arena. That's got way past fucking stale. I can understand why he would come through the arena and be the counter culture against the establishment guy when there were people in the arena and that way he's coming for out of the fans. But now it's just stupid. He's walking out of the parking lot into an empty arena. It takes for fucking ever. It's another thing I used to teach guys in OVW. When you're on national any kind of television, the clock is ticking. And the longer you take to get to the fucking meat of the matter, the less time you have to get yourself over. Anyway, I wrote at the start, because of this match, that there's almost no way that this not only won't be rotten, but also a clash of styles. Because there's a lot of people in here that, I mean, you know, Felix can do what Felix can do, but you can't work with him if you're an American. Pac is an amazing athlete and a fucking badass looking guy with a great body and does some shit, but who knows whether he's a heel or a babyface, and he don't know how to work differently to tell you. He just does what he does. We know about Twinkle Toes. I like Gallows and Anderson, but apparently this match was one of the most heavily edited matches in all of fucking...
No, not this one. This one was live. It was the week before.
The week before, they were, oh, that's right, because that was really bad. They were making a bunch of jack-off motions. Probably like, who the fuck are these jack-offs we're wrestling? Anyway, the balding plumber trying to be a badass and beating up Luke Gallows is a stretch, visually. Pac and Carl Anderson did some nice athletic spots. But this whole, again, the booking, one is a team of heels, one is a team of 2/3 heels and Moxley. And it was mostly guys doing shit back and forth to each other and everybody trying in vain to make Jon Moxley look like a big star. And then they tried to get heat on Moxley, but he would never stay down. He never stays down. It would frustrate... If he was in the ring with Dick Murdoch 30 years ago and Murdoch was trying to get some heat on him, I would love to see that, honestly, because Murdoch would just give him the 1-inch punch and knock him cold and put a hold on him till he came conscious. And it would be a better match than what Moxley was having. But nobody bothers to fucking ground a guy anymore when he's not selling and you can't get any heat to build a fucking match. They just do moves back and forth. Anyway, Felix made a comeback. Felix and Pac shit-canned Gallows and Anderson and had Twinkle Toes down in the middle of the ring. And both of them go to the top, and I think, okay, Felix and Pac are going to do some fucking double move off the top to fucking Twinkle Toes, right? Because he's right in the middle of the ring. Guess what they did? They both went to the top rope, climbed up, looking at fucking Twinkle Toes, and then did backflipping moonsaults off the top rope onto Anderson and Gallows on the floor. Why would you do that? You have just... The babyface has made his comeback. The babyface team is cooking. The two fucking heels are shit-canned on the floor. You've got one guy in the middle of the ring that you can hit and beat, and you go up to the top and backflip out on the floor on the two guys that you can't win the match against. What the fuck is going on here? This is all a performance of something that these people involved in it have been told is professional wrestling. Then Felix goes to the top rope, does a backflip off the top rope and lands on his feet in the ring, drops down and does an immediate backward roll, jumps up and gives a cutter to Twinkle Toes, who was standing there dumbfounded waiting for him to do that. This is the most ridiculous bunch of horse shit I have ever seen in my life. You couldn't sit anybody down that asked, why are you watching that stupid wrestling shit? And explain this to them in any way and get them interested in watching anything. They would just laugh at you. So, at one point, the heels, all triple teamed incessantly with no tags and no count, and referee Aubrey just standing there. And then the babyface team with Plummer and company did the same thing. Back to them, no logic, no heels, no faces, no timing, endless moves, 100 miles an hour, impossible to follow. And finally, they beat Felix some kind of way. Thank God it was over. But then, of course, immediately there's heat afterwards. The heels start getting them down again, and here comes Lance Archer to make the save. Why? Why would Lance Archer make this save? Because he's a heel too. Or he used to be, till they decided maybe he wasn't earlier today. And then, of course, Moxley is up. After Archer has made the save, Moxley is up on his feet already, even though he's had this brutal match, and then they've got heat on him. What did you think about the match before we get to the final big happening and reveal and everything? What did you think of this performance?
I thought it was all right, but I was watching it knowing that it would be nothing but spots. It will at some point just degenerate into spots, and it did.
Okay, and now something happened that all the AEW fans went just berserk insane for, that they were making statements, and the people in the company making, this is going to change the face of wrestling again. Remember when that was going to happen? Oh, the last time. Moxley is up in the ring, and some small human being that apparently looked to be about 5'8", 5'9", 175 pounds in a completely all-black outfit, jumped in the ring and blasted Moxley and fucking hit a shitty move on him that you could see made no contact and looked like shit compared to all these incredible things they do, the high impact, the superplexes off the roof, the fucking bumps and the dive. This looked like complete shit. And Moxley sold it like he'd been poleaxed and shot with a fucking cannon. The guy, 5 giants can be on this guy. He won't go to a knee. But this one minute individual gives him a shitty looking fucking move that doesn't even connect. And he fucking sells it to death. And the guy unmasked. And guess who it is, everybody? It's Kenta. I wish I had crickets on this machine. Reedy. How about this? The guy takes his mask off, and it's another Japanese midget. And the announcers are going crazy. Oh my God, it's Kenta. Like anybody in the United States of America, besides the people already watching that program, would know who the fuck Kenta is. It was a big deal. Oh, my God, look at it. And you know that the half a dozen people across the country that actually wandered into this thing thinking they were going to see a wrestling program and are sitting there dumbfounded are going, who the fuck is that kid? And he's got purple hair. And that's their bit because he's New Japan's guy. So they think that this is going to make a major difference in their ratings and their wrestling war and whatever. Yes, when I was in Ring of Honor in 2011, 2012, I wanted to bring the Japanese talent over because I knew that we had a niche product with a niche audience and that they loved the Japanese guys and knew who they were, and that's why I tried to get them to bring them over, but fucking Greg the office boy, being that he was a wrestling expert, said, oh, no, whatever the fucking is too expensive, so okay, fuck you. But I was aware that, yes, that would make a difference in their business, in Ring of Honor's business. This is a national television promotion on TNT television. And in case anybody's forgotten, there's a large segment of people out there that didn't even know Chris Jericho was still fucking wrestling until the program came on after an NBA game. We established that about a month ago. So if they didn't even know that Chris Jericho was still wrestling, you think a lot of them know or give a fuck who little bitty teeny weeny itsy titsy Kenta is? It's like they fucking unmasked CM Punk. Oh, look, oh my God. No, that would make a difference in your business. This is just going to make absolutely no difference in your business because you're going to have more fucking high spots and more fucking Japanese wrestling on the same program with the same amount of people watching it. Do you think even everybody that watches AEW knows who Kenta is?
I think a portion of them do. And again, he was on NXT for a while as...
Was he?
Not since we've been watching. I think he had a concussion problem or he had some kind of injury problem that kept him out. But he was Hideo Itami in NXT. So there are some fans who will know him. I don't think he's a difference maker. Out of all the talent in New Japan, especially putting him in there with Moxley, he's the one that I don't know if I'd be picking Kenta out of all the guys they have there. But again, AEW is trying to open up the door and have that relationship with New Japan. And this is potentially the beginning of that, using Kenta, because he lives in the States and you can get him to the shows easily. He's not one of the guys living in Japan. He lives in the States from working for NXT.
Oh, good God. The point is, people reacted to this. The AEW fans reacted to this like, oh my God, like they just brought out Roddy fucking Piper. They can't admit to themselves that almost nobody in the overall scheme of things knows who the fuck their favorite wrestlers are or wants to watch this horse shit. They just can't admit it.
I don't think their fans are losing their mind because of Kenta. It was more because that means that AEW is working with New Japan.
Okay. Well, that means that Tanahashi and Okada and a bunch of other people that you could scream at the top of your lungs in the middle of the fucking mall are going to come and nobody's going to know who the fuck they are either.
The core AEW audience will. It won't do anything to increase the audience.
God damn, you mean to tell me that every single person in my restaurant's going to order dinner? I thought they just came to sit around and talk. What about all the people out on the street that I wish were hungry that would come in and order the fucking dinner? Because they've never heard of my food. They don't even know it is food. You tell a wrestling fan, we're going to have Hideo Itami versus Kenta. He's going to, what?
No, Hideo Itami is Kenta.
I don't care. They won't know that either. They are confining themselves to a very small space when they constantly go for a bunch of unheard of, unknown people who have never been exposed on a major league level and treat them automatically like they are stars to the entire world when the average person is going, who the fuck is this? Even wrestling fans don't know who the fuck these people are. They're the queen of love and piss? I've never heard of her before. It's ridiculous. They think that and they are correct in that everyone that they currently have as an audience for this television program or whatever they do, they're correct in thinking that all those people pretty much know who these people are and give a fuck. And therein lies the problem, because that is the sum total of people that know who these fucking nobodies are or give a fuck in the entire country. You're not going to get any fucking more viewers with these people, because wrestling fans who were used to wrestling instead of video game comedy and fucking midgets playing with each other are not going to watch this shit. They're going to be offended by it. Instead of going out and trying to increase your audience by presenting a professional product with talented athletes that look like fucking athletes, that make sense, that interest you in them as people, and has a logical story progression going, and is not insulting your intelligence or being wacky and stupid and silly or indulging in middle-aged wannabe rock stars' midlife crises, or a fucking real-life Richie Rich who gets to play with his fucking money in real-life action figures with a goddamn pulse and a heartbeat. This is an embarrassment to wrestling that's getting worse. And as a result of this program and the ridiculous, stupid, big budget garbage that the WWE is presenting, nobody will ever want to watch wrestling again. That's what the fault I find is with it. They could have tried at least, but that would have been admitting that Tony Khan doesn't know what he's doing and was too stubborn to hire somebody that did. He fell in with the wrong fucking people. The indie outlaw garbage phony comedy wrestlers that just want to grab each other's balls and tickle them while they fucking have fun with each other and do funny things to bring smiles to people's faces. And they hire the wrong talent because they have no eye for it whatsoever. And basically, the fucking billionaire's son goes on the say-so of his fucking friends who want to get all their friends a fucking job. So it's a goddamn amateur hour mixed with a daycare center on one side, and on the other side, you've got a fucking guy that's lost it, had it at once, lost it. Nobody wants to say no to him. And they're doing equally phony, but just not as silly shit. It's more boring instead over on the other channel. So wrestling's fucked. But yet at the same time, you have people out there actually say, oh my God, wrestling's never been greater. We have so many options. We have so many choices. The fuck? More people are wrestlers than ever, that's for sure. Fewer people are actually making serious money at it. Some are making serious money, but when you adjust it for inflation, as we do often, you'll find out that a lot of guys in the 50s and 70s made more money overall. And no, there's never been a time in the United States of America, or as far as I know around the world, where fewer people were actively watching wrestling, professional wrestling in any form, and where there was actually less of it to watch that didn't insult your intelligence and just make you feel bad and need to take a shower for fucking watching it. So what a renaissance. I was in a good mood when we started. Wasn't I?
You were.
Well, let's quit, because I'm not anymore.